Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Learn From Us podcast.
What's today?
What do you mean?
What are we doing today?
Deal of the week. Deal of the week. Andrew brings Paul a deal of the week.
And it's there too.
Two.
And for everybody, stay the entire.
Oh, sorry, Paul. The audience.
And the crowd goes wild.
Learn From Us is filled in live studio audience. Remember Full House?
Yeah. If you stay after our deal, we're going to talk about the universe with Andrew.
I'm drastically different topics. I just heard some numbers about the universe recently. I want to get your thoughts on. You're
so
a smart
confused.
guy. Andrew, I miss you, my friend.
Yeah,
Good to see you
it's
again.
been a hot minute. Where you been?
Has it been a hot minute for you guys?
I think so.
Well, we didn't do deals weeks last week. It was just three of us, two of us, Paul, talking our stupid shit all day. And so Andrew's now joining us,
but it was very efficient.
And when he's got him face down, I get even more excited about him.
Because it's like high school.
Anticipation.
Well, I got to
high
reveal
school.
this.
It's like high school when you get
Reveal
the grades.
about this.
Yeah, when you
current
walk in
deal.
and the teacher's got these sitting here, you're like, oh boy.
Well, let me
quiz.
recap for our new viewers. So Paul here, great guy, knows a little about housing. Andrew's going to bring Paul, just like the theme song said, hello, is going to bring Paul a deal that he's never seen before, and Paul's going to analyze
I've seen
the
him.
deal.
Paul hasn't.
Oh, Andrew's seen it though.
Yeah, I know. And then Paul's going to give numbers as whether he wants to buy this, whether this is a good deal, and this is going to give us practice, including myself, in terms of analyzing the deals that are out there. Go ahead, Andrew. Where are we in this world?
We're going south.
Where to?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
I know.
Is this a
exciting.
prison?
So there's Paul's first glance
Okay.
at taking a look at it.
It's an offering memorandum, 184 units.
Oh, good size.
Yeah.
2 stories.
They built this as cheap as possible back in 1980.
1980, all new roofs, windows,
it
and
looks-
vinyl siding in the last 5
Paul,
years.
does it? I mean, it looks like they just threw siding up.
That they put boxes up and they put siding on there. And that's
They
it.
walked in and the siding store said, "What's on sale?"
Oh, that's a good way to describe it, Paul.
Is this
These
a-
are boxes
I'll take that.
and windows and siding.
And it looks like this is like a little airport run strip or something like that to land planes.
Oh,
on,
you mean a
too.
road?
Is that what it is?
It's a parking lot, isn't it?
I don't know. Shreveport. I didn't even know where Shreveport was. Look at that.
So 2.5 hours east of Dallas.
Oh, that's right.
It is?
It actually takes 5 hours to get to New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Nolans.
Andrew, I'm looking at this map. It doesn't look like it's 5 hours to New Orleans.
Bro.
This
Oh,
is
yeah,
2.5, and that's
Bro.
5.
4 hours, 55 minutes.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Are you going through a swamp?
You have to swim the last half.
What's a parish? Northern Louisiana's 14 parishes.
Is that like
Like districts of Louisiana.
Interesting.
like counties, maybe? No.
It's a
there's gotta be more
Creole.
than
It must be a
14.
Creole thing.
It's a Creole thing.
Okay, keep going, Andrew. Tell us about this.
So you've got 64 one beds, 96 twos, and 24 threes.
Raspberry. By the way, in case you want to know the latitude and longitude, it is put right here.
Thank God. I was wondering.
This is going into that oversharing by a broker.
To the 5th decimal point. Jesus Christ. Where's the altitude? Do we have an altitude or no?
Low.
So this is a nice memorandum, and it's highly organized.
Yeah, a lot of this is computer stuff. They put in an address, and it just spits out all the population and statistics and all that kind of stuff. So
Statistics. They're losing population in Shreveport?
Do you
It's
have
not-
a Steve Urkel impression? Because it kind of sounded like him.
Can I do it? I don't have one, but I can do one.
Work on that for us here for the podcast. So okay, it's funny. They talk about the major employers in the area: Air Force bases, public schools, and lots of casinos. It's funny.
I think there's an aerial.
Where
If
the
you
lots-
look at
Oh,
it,
yeah,
actually
there's
looks
lots of
pretty.
casinos.
It's pretty centrally located for the city of Shreveport for what it is.
Barkdale Air Force Base.
So 184 units, 350 parking spots. Okay. So like what you said. 64 one beds, 42s.
Well,
Two different styles.
96
of twos,
twos.
but 96 twos altogether.
96 twos, 24 threes.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good unit mix.
how do they not know when it was built? It says approximately 1980.
Me.
Me.
Okay.
He seems like a nice guy.
What
What's
is
that from?
Oh, Tommy Boy. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay, sorry. I had to get my mind right.
This is the guy who's trying to put you out of business. Now he's like, this guy.
What are the current rents for this place, Andrew?
1 beds, and you may need to
Gotta write these down.
write that. You're gonna have to write that down.
Go ahead and write that. Go ahead, Andrew. Tell us.
I don't think Andrew knows that's from.
No, I think you just said it.
Dumb and Dumber.
No.
You talk about where he's like, "Ooh, you're gonna want to hold on to that."
No.
No,
Write
no,
that
no.
down. Write that down. What's that from?
I don't know.
MJ, you're listening. What's that from? A Few Good Men. And Santiago is the victim. Victim. Write that down.
Go ahead. Rents.
And I've seen that movie too. That's quite detailed.
Well,
Like
we've
one
seen it like
time?
700 times.
Yeah. Rookie.
This guy.
This guy.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I feel like I've been pointed at now. $575 for the ones,
Okay.
Ooh, that's low.
Why okay.
twos with the 2 different styles, $640 and $699,
That's low.
Yeah, these are very low.
and the threes $850.
So, Andrew, did you do some comps? Is this what's going on in the area here?
So I did comps, and for the rehab, I bumped them $100.
That's it?
That's it because
That's that Cleveland accent. Camps instead of just comps.
Comps.
Did you hear it? I said I did some camps. Comps.
after I did
Repeat after me. Comp.
comp,
Now say camp.
corn on the cob.
Cab. It's cob. So I hear this a lot. Guys, I've just moved home from home from Columbus to Cleveland, and I can't get enough of it because it's just like
I hear
it on
you
the
need to calm down.
calm down.
Gotta
Dude, I hear it
calm
on the
down.
radio during the Tribe game. They're like, go to blah blah blah.com. I'm like, it's .com. Okay, go ahead, Andrew. I interrupted you. Keep going with the caps. Go tell them.
$100. I bumped everything $100. The rest of the units in the area, you can't go too high because a lot of the units are sitting there, and it's just I don't think you get that much out of it. Now the downside to that is, Paul, when you're doing rehab numbers,
Uh-huh.
at first I had a number in that 14-15 zone,
You can't do that.
not with 100. I had to go down to 12, and
But even then-
even that's not that good.
You're not making any money on that shit,
You
yo.
make money at $100. I think it's worth 14,800.
Yippee.
Right, but you have to have a little bit of room there. So
So I'm going to drop the rehab. Just saying we're just going to do like cosmetic stuff.
do what you got to do.
Really, Paul?
Yeah, like I look at the cabinets going, okay, paint the cabinets, put new counters on there, put handles. What are those called?
Handles.
What are they
Knobs?
called? Yeah, knobs.
Knob, not
Or-
knobs.
Nabs.
I didn't say it, did I?
I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
And you have to put on your pools.
Community amenities. Centrally located.
It is centrally located.
Is that an amenity?
Yes.
No, it's not.
It's not non-centrically located. Gated access is nice, you must say.
What kind of area is this?
Clubhouse, laundry facilities, swimming pool, basketball court. A newsletter, Paul.
Is that part of the community crust?
On-site management, plentiful parking. It's plentiful, bountiful. Why only $100, Andrew, per room?
Paul, to steal your phone real quick.
Oh,
When we're talking about rehab, Seth,
Yes.
if we get that $100 bump
Uh-huh.
and you get it for 12 months
Uh-huh.
and you put some vacancy in there,
93%.
you collect that much extra a year, that $1,100. And if you're sitting there and saying, "Oh, I'm going to get an 8% return on the whole thing when I'm done,"
Okay.
it's worth $14,000.
that means if I put in $14,000 and get a $100 bump, all I did was break even. I didn't better myself financially. So if I can put in $9,000 and get $100, now I put in $9 to get $14.
That was a really great calculation. Can you do it again? I'm dead serious. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we've told you that one like 1,000 times.
Well, I just have to hear it again. And so do our freaking viewers, Paul.
They got to.
How many units was this?
184.
84. So if you can bump $100 a unit
Right.
times a year is $1,200.
Correct.
There's no fucking actuals on here.
Take some vacancy, 7% off.
Yeah.
1,200 gets you 11 something.
Yeah. Change.
And then
Cha.
And then we're applying the cap rate. So the idea of like at the end.
8% cap rate.
Yep. So
or an
you
8 cap.
you're dividing by that 0.08, or depending on where you are, how good it is, whether it's 0.076, whatever.
Why
This
do you
case-
start at 8 again?
So I did 8 in this one because, again, it's a little bit more rural, and I don't think this is
Not a slam dunk?
It's not a 6 cap type area. It's not an A property. It's a little bit older. It's not super pretty.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way they accept my number.
Why do you say that, Paul?
Because their pro forma, it's like literally everything is rounded to the exact $1,000, which means they're just giving all pro forma bullshit, which means they don't want to show you the actuals, which means the actuals are terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say,
1000%.
as far as your underwriting, that is different. The taxes are super low in Louisiana.
Great. 2% rent bump and 1% escalation for expenses.
What does that mean again?
So they're basically saying, hey, our rent's going to go up 2% a year, but our expenses are only going to go up 1% a year. Forever.
That's like your income going up by 2, but a gallon of milk only goes up by 1.
Why? What? I'm trying to
Exactly.
analyze.
It's as stupid
Inflation's
as it sounds.
inflation.
Inflation's inflation affects income and expenses.
Oh, I
Apart
see.
from us doing work to the property to increase rents at a higher rate than inflation, our rents and our expenses will probably go up together in line, unless we're in some huge demand area like New York City, where the only way to go to get, and even then, you're going to have.
Well, then you're on rent control.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not only that, you're going to have expenses for labor's going to go higher and all that stuff. Shit.
So one of the things
Andrew, I don't even want to give a number here. Who the fuck's calling me from Dallas?
This guy.
he's like, you making fun of my deal in Shreveport? So Seth, we always talk about the games that brokers play.
Yeah,
If you pull that out like they did over a 10-year period,
I see.
you're getting that extra 1% for 10 years. So it's going to make people always go to that bottom right-hand corner when you look at that piece of paper and they look for that return that they're going to get. Well, if I had this for 10 years, I'm going to make this much money. What's 10 years of skewing the numbers?
You don't like this, Paul. Just
I don't even want to give a number.
already, you're just over it.
Because they don't give actuals. Everything's pro. My underwriting
Yes.
has lower income than theirs does, and I have my increased rent in there. I did 5,000 in expenses.
Okay.
Exactly. You agree with that, right?
I'm a little lower.
4,750.
That's insanely close. I was 4,767.
Thanks for being more specific, Andrew.
That's Pacific, I believe.
Yes, it's. Who the fuck is calling from Dallas? This is the second time they called.
Answer it.
Hello. Yeah. So, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can you call me back for the third time and leave a message? Thank you. Bye. Dick.
Could you hear that, Seth?
Yes, I could.
Right. So it's these guys who sit there and
Yeah, what did he say, Paul?
they're just calling because they see that we own a building.
Okay, and what did he ask you, Paul?
We want to buy it. He just said, hey, we'd be interested in buying it or whatever he said.
So we get this, like, as far as explanation, when we're talking about stuff like this, how hot is the market? Hot enough that they're going to call you over and over again to say, I just want to buy what you have. They don't know if it's for sale. They don't even know anything about your property. When you call him back, you say, hey, this is Paul. You call me. Yeah, what was that address again?
Can I talk about something? This has to do with underwriting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention names, but this has really bothered me this week. Somebody I know was bragging on Facebook about buying a big portfolio in an east side suburb of Cleveland. The property needs a ton of work, and it has low rents, and he paid almost as much as we sold our Shaker portfolio for. And he's bragging about it, and he used that firm that we really hate, and the person there that we really think is
Not Skittles, but
yes, the person that he bought it with. Literally, I've had his best friend from childhood say to me, I would never do a deal with him because he would sell his mother to the devil to get a deal done. And he's leveraged up to the tilt, and I'm really worried for him.
Is it Hilt?
Fuck.
John Dyer?
Thank you, John. Is it Hilt or Tilt? Did we decide that?
I'm going to go with Hilt.
Yes. And I'm just like, it's aggravating me because it's a prime example of he's getting in over his head because the market's hot, and he thinks that any deal he does is still safe. Our rents were higher in Shaker than his that he's getting, and he has to go rehab still. And he paid within 8% of what we sold our property for per unit.
Is his boiler too?
Yes.
Okay, so that's even.
Yeah.
So,
Is he?
and to be honest, Seth, when we sold it,
We knew he overpaid too.
I'm sitting there. I mean,
we
were
thought he
happy
overpaid. We were like, he
to
overpaid.
move it.
So this was the what unit? How many units?
308
in
in Shaker.
300. And you think that the buyer overpaid?
We think the buyer overpaid, and then somebody I know went and bought less rent, not as nice properties, because at least ours were rehab, and he paid almost as much as this guy paid.
We wouldn't have bought at the number that he bought.
Yeah, I see.
Now, granted, we're conservative guys, but let's say we were trying to buy turnkey, we still wouldn't have bought at that number.
And he was coming from, that New York
That's not
City,
the focus,
New
though.
Jersey, all
the focus
that
is
stuff.
the guy I know who's like, and he just thinks he's new to real estate. I don't want to say what he did for a living beforehand, but if I told you what he did for a living beforehand, your comment would be, what the hell is he doing in real estate? It had nothing, and he just thinks that he sold me a deal a month and a half ago. It was terrible. When I told him how bad it was, he goes, "Oh, my analyst put that together." I was like, "You don't even know the deal?" He goes, "Well, my analyst did it." His analyst. I'm like, "You're trying to raise money from investors with some analyst, and you don't even."
He is an analyst.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing? I'm just like, it really frustrates me, Seth, because I'm looking at it going, and then when it ends up being a disaster for him, what's he going to say? It was the economy. It was this. It was that. He's not going to sit there and go, no, it was my stupid purchasing. And I look at deals like this and think that exact same thing. Somebody's going to go overpay for this. When I sit there and go, what are you going to get in rents for this? They're going to believe the pro forma numbers the broker told them. They're going to believe these stupid numbers and go, oh, it's a good deal. I've had somebody who told me like, oh, I analyzed the numbers. No, you analyzed the numbers the broker gave you. You didn't actually look, is it a good deal? You just sat there and put the numbers in an Excel sheet that the broker gave you. The broker's paid to lie, right?
The broker has an incentive to sell the property for more. How's that?
Thank you.
Paid to lie is a little
harsh.
It's aggressive. It's aggressive.
This is where the cocky comment comes, right? He didn't hear that part, by the way.
Dude, I had a friend in New York. It's like, dude, I love your new podcast with your cocky friend.
I love it.
So, anyway, how funny.
And you probably like, you don't even know the half of it. You're like, this guy's super. But either way,
Did you throw half the other income in? They had like 80.
Oh, I put 30 in.
85 was water reimbursement.
Oh, was it?
So I'd keep the 85, but dump the 95.
Sweet. Still not going to buy it.
What do you think per door?
You know what, Seth? I really don't.
Seth, what are you thinking?
Oh my God.
I didn't know if you were on your calculator coming up with a number or you're playing Tetris over there.
Andrew, because I honestly, I don't even want to get into the conversation of how much more money it is. Because it's going to be a bad one.
Well, that's what we do here.
I know, you're right. Jesus. Okay, let me do your numbers then.
Yeah, let's hear it, Paul.
Hang on a second.
I was trying to analyze what my buddy said about Paul and my response.
Oh, you know what, Paul, while you're doing that,
Well, how many units was it?
184 units. I'm throwing 85 for other income. And while you're doing that, a fun part, I'll tell you what, the ratings on this one, 3.6 out of 5.
The reviews?
Yeah, we always talk about pulling it up and kind of see where they are. 3.6.
Not
I
bad.
have a number.
That's actually pretty good.
How'd
I
you
have
get
a
to it,
number.
Paul? How'd you get to it?
I worked backwards like we always do.
Do it again.
I sat there and I said, okay, adding $100 per unit in rent, taking out $47.50 in expenses, and that's assuming that Andrew's right about the property taxes, because he did say, Paul, property taxes are very low.
I had to look them up because I didn't believe it.
Great. I put $8,000 a door in rehab costs, which could be lower actually if we just do
low already.
Well, but it could be lower if we just do very minor things to get the $100 bump. So the part of our due diligence, guys, for everybody listening out there, if we make these assumptions, then we'll go into the market. We'd go visit it and say, do we think we can get a $100 bump still with $6,000 or $7,000 a door in rehab? We'd go visit the competition, see what they're doing, see what their units look like.
So this is paint, carpet, but not replace kitchen.
It's everything we need to be able to get the $100.
Yeah, it could be keeping the cabinets, just repainting them, doing the granite countertops, changing light fixtures, changing the floor out.
So Paul put in 8,000 to get 100.
Yeah.
I went a little more conservative. I did 12. Again, it's a terrible return. To put in 12 to get 14, it's not that great. So maybe it's somewhere between the two, but we're in the ballpark. Go ahead.
Paul.
If it's in the low sevens, I would be interested in taking a further look. And I think at that point, you're doing a deal to do it. You're still going to be fine.
Wait,
but
what are
you're
you saying per door? I'm sorry.
40 a door.
40 a door. Oh, I should have said that because that was I don't know why I thought that, but okay, 40 a door.
I'm thinking to myself at 40 a
That's
door.
where you were, right, Seth?
At
Boom.
40, here's
Right
my
on.
point. At 40 a door, I'm interested to take a further look. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just sitting there saying if they're around low to mid sevens, it's at least in a ballpark. And I'm going to guess they're asking $12 million for the property. That's what I'm guessing they're asking.
Actual retail price, Andrew.
10. Oh, wow. Yeah. It hit so fast. 10.856, which is about $59 a door.
That's what they're asking?
Yeah. And so I had emailed him and he goes, hey, I saw you, we were talking about the deal. Did you get a chance to underwrite? Did you get it? And I go, we're not even close. It's not worth it. And he goes, well, how do you know it's not worth it? And I said, because you told me whereabouts I needed to be. And there's no point in even continuing the conversation.
Oh, he still kept going?
He took it from 59 to 54 a door. Like that.
Without even blinking an eye.
Yeah. So as bad as 59 is, where I look at this and go, man, that's terrible. Someone actually moved off really quickly, which means it was never 59 to begin, that he was just pushing.
If he really thought he was going to get 59, he'd been like, well, that's where it's going to go, or that's where we think it's worth.
100%.
That's what you guys say, right?
It happened to me last week in Columbus where a guy goes, it's going to be about this. It went slightly over where he said it was going to be. That Northern Columbus one?
Oh, really?
Slightly
over
where
about?
He said.
Oh, we were talking about that cocky comment.
Yeah. Did you text him?
Yeah, he said, I just started listening to your podcast and it's great. I said, oh, thanks for the support. You mean the investing podcast, right? Because I have a little one with my child, Gio. He said, yeah, the one with your cocky friend. Ha, ha, ha. I said, ha, yep, slightly cocky, right? But very confident in himself and his ways. I'm drawn to his mindset.
Oh, adorable.
He said, I like it. Similar to all the greats I'm listening to.
Oh, that's very nice of him to say.
Oh, wait, he was talking about Andrew. I'm sorry. Yeah, or me. Yeah, anyway.
I was hoping to say, no, I was talking about the Geo one.
Similar to all the grades I'm listening to.
No, the cocky one. Like, oh, no, the cocky one. Oh, yeah, he's pretty good. No,
so
Gio.
my number, by the way, was 8.
Was it?
43 a door.
FYI, I came up with...
It gets me 19.8, I believe.
Really?
IRR.
Okay.
So,
by the way, Andrew's using real estate calculator. I was not. We like real estate calculator more because we're looking at IRR. I'm just gauging based on, okay, what about this margin? What about this margin? But when Andrew says 8, okay. So if they're asking 8.5, I'd be like, let's go take a look at it.
Well, and at the end of the day, Paul's in the 7s, and I'm at 8 because I said
with
low calculations, it can sit there and show you how much value there is. Over
Remember, our real estate calculator also takes into consideration things like how fast you rehab the units. I do not do that when I'm doing my back of the napkin comment. And this is why investing is an art a lot of times, because Andrew's sitting there using this calculator. I'm using this. I assumed higher taxes. He goes, Paul, taxes are low. I'm like, okay. So when he comes at lower expenses than me, and I always forget that southern states have lower taxes than northern states.
Right.
So I always have to remember that.
Yeah, this one's floating literally at 1%. When we were in Shaker.
Oh, 5 point something.
Yeah, it was like.
And by the way, I don't. But
5.2.
That person that bought those properties in Shaker. Oh shoot! I shouldn't have said that. Either way, they're going to be hit with a really big tax bill, and they don't even realize it.
Can you? What's your southern accent sound like, Paul?
Y'all.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's hear yours.
Well, if I was going to buy some property down in Louisiana, I'd look at the pro forma.
Is that a southern? What is
some
that?
friends of mine.
It sounds like you're gonna cook gator for lunch.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna serve up some barbecue. Go down to by the bayou. Anyway,
I feel like this accent's
you don't
slightly
eat
racist.
lobster; it's only crawfish.
Oh, crawdads. You gotta. We talk about them crawfish.
Are we ready to talk about the universe, or are we still going to talk about this deal? So, did you end up having a conversation with this guy about how low is the number?
Well, that was one of my questions. Actually, is if you're at 8, at what point are you calling this guy? As if the actual retail price is?
If he said to Andrew, "We can get something done in the 8s," we'd be mid 40 per unit. Andrew would be making the mid to high 40s per unit. Andrew would make the call, and it is possible because the guy came in, dropped from 59, 54 like that. By the way, somebody told me recently I touch people too much.
Oh my God, that just went into my mind. So that not only he gets handsy, not in the wrong places, but he gets handsy, and then he leaves it for a long time. Andrew, you must know this over the years.
My father's handsy.
Is he's like he'll start like Andrew and I are thinking this, and he's just gonna keep going with his hand here and just keep talking like
we play the.
Who told you that you get too handsy?
Rahman.
Oh, come on.
Swear to God, he told me that the other day.
But you're not a huggy guy.
I like hugs. Yeah, I like hugs.
Really?
I've hugged you. I hug you all the time.
Yeah, you do actually.
Yeah, I like hugs.
But I like when people connect.
Yeah.
So I like when you put your hand on my shoulder, like a fatherly figure, and
oh, you can't get in my ear.
In his ear.
And then And it makes me
Getting
feel
weird.
like you care about me more.
Oh, that's good.
That's what you're doing.
It's like the Bill Clinton, how he shook your hand. How high up he got the arm.
Oh, yeah, the second.
The second hand. I can't really do it when I'm just
Yeah.
Here.
touching myself.
Is this easier?
No, I don't want to touch you because I imagine him
know
do
what's
that. Like,
about
he always has a finger in the palm thing.
I won't do it.
Please
That's
watch.
how you know I really
Jerking
like
the
you.
wrist. Jerking
That's
the
how
wrist.
you know I really like you.
What time is our next podcast, Paul, with one of our guests? What time is that happening? Soonish?
Let's see if he's coming.
We should fast forward to next week and do another deal of the week.
You have a second?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do another one.
Let's do it.
Not now. I mean, next podcast.
Next week.
Yeah, next
course.
week we'll release it. Paul, what do you think?
I'd love to.
I think the next topic is very heavy. I don't think we should do it I don't think we can do it this podcast.
The universe?
Yeah,
Let's
too
do it
much.
right now. Tim, do you agree or no?
Where are we at time-wise?
Okay, we'll do that.
We're wrapping it up, folks. This is Deal of the Week. This is Learn From Us.
The producer has vetoed our ideas.
Bum, 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 bum.
The point of this podcast is to
Clear that throat.
muster up and drum realtors and beginning realtors to learn people who want to get into real estate investing.
Yeah.
Like
To
myself.
hide from realtors.
Describe what we're doing here, Andrew. What are we trying to do?
Hide from
Deal of the week.
I just fucking blew
It's
it.
in the song. It's in the song.
Thank you for joining us. Follow along on a weekly basis. 2 podcasts a week. We're really getting after it. 2 podcasts a week. Follow along with Learn From Us. This is Andrew. Oh, wait. No. For Andrew and for Paul, I'm Seth Kuchanin. Thanks for joining us. That's what they do on Monday Night, like a football. They're like, for this person and this person, you don't get to say goodbye.
Oh, is
I
that what
say
it is?
for you. Yeah. For Paul and for Andrew, this has been
You
Seth.
should cut our mics
Thanks for
then.
joining us.
And if you like
See you guys. Bye-bye.
.com.
.com. Learnfromus.com.